I wasn't sure if they were ever going to release another ball ever again, and then came the X-2. Let's get into it. All right, so we're going to be checking out the new Roto Grip RST X-2. Now, first off, this might be the prettiest bowling ball of the year. Now, I know that we're all sucker for shiny, pretty pearl cover stocks, but man, the way that that purple blends with the green logo really does look sharp. But the release of the RST X-2 is one that was pretty surprising to me. Storm had just come out with the dark code. Roto Grip just released the UFO Alert, which yes, it is a hybrid, but it's a shiny hybrid and it does get down the lane pretty easy. And 900 Global still had the Volatility Torque in the line. So my question was, why are they releasing another asymmetrical pearl ball? I know that the RST X-1 was a very successful ball. They did something where it was really able to continue when you got into deeper angles, which makes sense why they would put a pearl cover stock on that, but also, why have 4? But then they discontinued the Volatility Torque out of the 900 line, and then also the R2X cover stock that's on the dark code is substantially different from the E-Trax Plus cover stock. So what is the RST X-2 bringing to the table? It's got a 253 RG, an 053 differential, so pretty high there, and also an 016 intermediate differential. So that Roto Star core that's in there that was also featured in the RST X-1 is pretty asymmetrical, pretty strong, is going to read a lot of the lane and give you a lot of continuation through the pins. So where do I think this ball is going to fit? Honestly, I think it's going to be a house shot killer. I don't know if I'm going to like it very much on sports stuff, but if you give me friction to the right with this thing with all of that differential and it's something that'll really get through the fronts, I think it's going to see it and it's going to go left, and it is going to be loud when it goes through the pins. It's got a lot of purple, it's got a lot of green, and when it goes through the pins, you might hear it say smash! It's the Roto Grip RST X-2 here on 10 Pin Life. RST X-2, we're bowling on the PBA Dragon pattern. Pretty fresh. So fresh I would probably never throw this, but let's see what she does. Little right. Oh, that stood up a lot more than I thought it was going to. I got that way right for a 45-foot pattern, and she came screaming back. I'm not very good. Maybe I just peered it off my hand on accident. That still got there and still came off the spot with ease. Wow. Let's move 3 left here. So we're gonna stand at about 18. Got it right. Now you didn't see that because I fell out of my shot, but holy crap, that came squealing back. So normally with asymmetrical balls, if I'm gonna play straight, it's gotta be a solid. So the reality, just keeping my angles in front, playing the track, playing right of the track. Was not expecting that out of this ball. I was figuring long and strong and get left and hammer on it, but this looks pretty good. All right, I think I got that a little bit left. I really like the way that that ball looks on this. And I'm guessing that the more friction right, the better she's gonna look. There's no way. What? Clearly that's where I'm supposed to throw it because that was perfect. The thing don't stop. I cannot believe that that almost got that 10 out. That definitely was an asymmetrical shape to it. Ooh, that got righter. Wrong area, no wiggle room. I had a pile in this room, 5 boards right of that. So let's go back over there. I can't throw it any better than that. All right, one more here with the X-2. Let's pack 10 and get out of here.
get back to it.
We are back from the lanes with the Roto Grip RST X-2. Holy cow, this ball hooks, and it goes through pins so hard. I was actually amazed with what it was able to do on that 45-foot dragon pattern. So normally with shiny asyms, they're not going to be balls that are going to be anywhere near fresh conditions for me. I'm always going to see them later in blocks. They're really good in transition for me when I have to get kind of left of everybody else and throw it into the bank that's starting to be made. But this ball absolutely killed that fresh pattern. You could really see a defined transition from that hook into that roll phase, but it wasn't like unusable. And actually, out of the 4 balls that I brought with, the Reality, the Zen Master, the X2, and the original Zen, this ball looked the best out of them by far. I still do think that this ball will do well on house shots, but because of how stable the transition from hook to roll is in this ball, I don't know if it will last as long in a league night. So if you're really beating the track down, I think that this ball will be subject to flat tenning, probably around the beginning of game 3, depending on how much friction is in your house. And you have to go to something maybe shiny and symmetrical so you can continue to kind of kick that 10 out. But the cool part about this ball is that I could get around it on a fresh pattern with a shiny pearl ball, and it didn't overreact. It still had an easy transition. If I'm bowling at a center where I know that there's going to be high friction lane panels, this ball might come out pretty soon, because what happens if I throw something that's dull like a Reality or a Zen Master is the ball hooks at my toes a little bit. I don't have a lot of tilt, and I can actually see sometimes the ball jerk left as soon as it hits the lane, and what this ball will do is allow me to get it to knuckle through that a little bit and stay further right on these longer patterns. And with that, if I'm able to stay right, I also think I can make the big jump with this ball, because it's still not afraid to get around the corner. So if I'm standing on 15 board trying to shoot it up 8 or something like that, and then I have to move into like 30, it's something that I think I can still use the same ball, and I can still just let it roll, throw it out into that same zone, bring my speed down, and just let the ball do the work, and it's still not going to be afraid to get around that corner. I will say that I would be afraid of making micro adjustments with this ball, or like 1 board moves, or if you're bowling on high friction stuff like 2 board moves, 3 board moves. I'm going to make area moves with this ball more than likely because of how pronounced that transition from hook to roll is, and I'm going to want to get the ball to skid to that point as cleanly as possible. And the way that I'm going to do that is by finding fresh oil and not really having to worry about shimming it in there. Rather, I'm just going to let the ball work. But I want to know what you think about it. Did you have an X1? What do you see in the X2? What are you excited about? What are you maybe not as excited about? Is this something that you think is going to just fit into your house shot arsenal, or is this coming with you to every tournament this year? Let me know down in the comments below. If you like what you see here, please be sure to hit subscribe, hit that like button, drop a comment about why bowling is your favorite sport in the whole world. 10-pin life is something that I'm really excited to get launched here. Have a lot of cool things in the works, from podcasts to training videos to coaching stuff. We are on TikTok too, so please be sure to drop a follow over there. And that's going to be it. Thank you guys very much for tuning in. And don't forget, your best life is a 10-pin life. See ya.